It's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
I blame myself.
So do I.
Well, no sense worrying about it now.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
Yeah. Now let's get ready. Switch me on. I don't think you're crazy.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
What is up, Ghostheads? It's another edition of the Ghostheads radio show. I am your host, Ted, aka Steady, and what a glorious, momentous occasion it is. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is, for some of us, a week away. For some others, a week and a day. No matter when you're seeing it, it is right around the corner. And shout out to all my pals, all the other ghost heads that are currently in NYC gearing up for the world premiere. May the Bustin' be with you. I don't know. If you're in the chat, say what's up. We got a great show for you guys. I have a lot of stuff to talk about at the end on the second half of this episode. We have a screening in town that you can win tickets to. We're going to have a giveaway that we want to talk about. I have multiple events to announce to folks in the San Antonio area. But without further ado, the reason why we're here is because I've been trying to get these cats on for a long time. The Orlando Ghostbusters are another one of those like fantastic groups that a lot of teams look up to. They do such great work, and I've been haven't had scheduling worked out with them for weeks now. But without further ado, everyone in the chat, give a round of applause to George Buras from the Orlando Ghostbusters team. George, how's it going, man?
Good, Ted. How are you doing?
I am excited. How are you feeling? That's what I want to know.
I'm hyped. I am ready. We have our first showings Thursday, so we have a week and a day. So
a week and a day, which is perfect. That will be opening night for a lot of people, and we can also talk about that with folks in the chat, because even though I am excited, I am also quite concerned. In my hometown, there are no IMAX showings of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and I am like in a top 10 largest market in the US. So that is concerning. And some theaters that have like that are considered multiplexes, like 20 or so screens, only have Ghostbusters Frozen Empire on one auditorium. And I'm like, that's not okay. Some as many as 4 screens, which is great. 4 screens, the more the merrier. But I don't know who has a stranglehold on some of these theaters. If it's Dune or if there's, I know there's other movies coming out next week. But that's another conversation for later on. Everybody's excited. I got a bunch of folks in the chat that are saying what's up. Ghostbusters Texas Rangers Division, our great friends to the north, saying what's up. Paxton's in here. Bryce is in here saying, hey, yo. Terry's in here. Hashtag Team Terry. Everybody's in here saying what's up. South Dakota Ghostbusters once again showing in force because you guys are the best. Nick, let's see. We're gonna see you in Austin on the 19th. I will get back to you on that. I will get back to you on that. It's possible. It's possible. But George, you guys are stoked. You're ecstatic. How about we just start off with where the Orlando team is going to be next week? Are you guys hunkering down at one theater chain? Are you going to be doing a lot of different things next week? What are you guys going to be doing?
We actually have 2 events. So Thursday night, we're working with a local law firm that does movie premieres. When they want basically some big movies, and it's on our on our Facebook, which we'll talk about later. You can access that and see. They have about 700 people going currently. So they rented out multiple theaters in one of our.
That doesn't sound like one theater. If it is, that's the Chinese theater.
No, it's a few. And so we're lucky that we have enough members that we're going out there so we can get everybody, get photos, get posters out to people, keep everybody excited, and obviously we're excited to see it next Thursday as well too. So that's our first showing. That's over in Orlando at the Fashion Square Mall. There's information on our Facebook to that for how you can sign up for tickets for that, because you have to sign up ahead of time for that one. And then on Friday night, we're going to the Amstar in Lake Mary. That's north of Orlando, kind of in between Orlando and Sanford. If you're familiar in the Florida area, they're about 20 minutes, 30 minutes north of Orlando. And actually, they were nice enough way back when Afterlife came out. They invited us to come back then. So we were like, hey, we need to come back again, and do it again with them. Will be there, I believe, from like about 6 to 8 or 6 to 9 o'clock. They're going to have several showings there. Obviously, it's the premiere night for it. If the weather's permitting, we make some arrangements. We're also going to have the Ecto 1B with us, who we work with. And the Ecto 1B is a 1959, 1960 Cadillac that they've done up perfectly. It's one of the best ones in the Southeast. So.
I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. That's amazing. That's quite a beautiful pinball machine you got behind you there. I assume this is your residence. This is like your personal collection here.
Yeah, this is my residence, my personal collection. Actually, I'm in the middle of redoing things, so I kind of focus on the pinball machine. There's a lot of Star Wars stuff to the other one side of it, so right now, but that's going to change over. So
I can't imagine what it's like to have a Ghostbusters pinball machine in my house. I think I would never see my family if I had a pinball machine for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, to keep them up and things like that, but it's great. It's awesome. And it's one of the best pinball machines because they have basically got all the media assets for the first film and some from the second film. And they had Ernie do a lot of voiceovers as well. So.
Oh, really? That's fantastic. I didn't know about all that.
Yeah. So it's work.
Yeah, finding a pinball arcade joint in my area, I have to drive maybe an hour and a half north to find like a joint like that. So those are kind of far and few between. But I have not seen a Ghostbusters pinball machine in quite some time. I really need to get out there and look for some. I'm glad you guys are so busy next week. If anybody wants information that's in the if you live in the Orlando area, all of this information, if you didn't catch that, can be found on the official Facebook page of the Orlando Ghostbusters. And then I'm sure you're going to keep everybody updated if things change or if more events get added, anything like that. So yeah, that's great that you guys are doing all that stuff. Especially, folks who maybe have trouble or want to like hold similar type of things, it is great to partner with law firms, people who got deep pockets, who want to help out the community, who love the charity work that your team does. It does not hurt to, kind of make those friends, you know what I mean? So um take a page out of George's book. Sometimes having friends in high places is a good thing, am I right?
Oh yeah, yeah. We look forward. I mean, we look forward to it. They help out. Our charity, Starlight Children's Foundation. We kind of picked that up when Sony picked that up about 2 years ago now, was it, with
Yeah.
the onesies for the flight suit onesies. So we picked that up and kind of ran with it. So and we keep working on getting that and getting donations out to them and things like that, and working with them. So
Yeah, no, that's like I said, it's great to make those connections and network with those folks. Any businesses really in your community, they want to find groups that do great charity work. And it's always great to partner with people that can help spread your awareness and can help support you in several ways. So, we have a question for you from Terry. How is the weather in Florida right now? Let us know, George.
actually, it's getting hotter. So yesterday it was like in the low 70s. It was really nice. Now we're going to be in the mid to high 80s. So we're getting there, close to 90. So it's normal Florida weather this time of year. It's up and down.
I gotcha. I gotcha. You sent me some incredible photos earlier today, and so I'm gonna go ahead and bring those up, and I want you to tell everybody in the chat right now just how incredible it was hanging out with McKenna Grace at MegaCon. Look at that. Look at everybody. Y'all look amazing.
Yeah, she is the sweetest person I've ever met. And it's like there's several stories of that too. It's not just one story.
Sure.
Because we were lucky enough to get the photo with her this way. Her mom actually took the photo. So with us. And then we also have it's fun. It's like the other thing is she actually, if you have kids, she was given toys to the kids because she does voiceovers for some of the kids shows.
Yeah. Oh,
And
you're right. Yeah.
yeah, so not our members, but Brooksville, which is a little bit west of us, they have two kids, and she was out of toys. So they got a box about 2 weeks later, and guess what was in the box?
I'm gonna say a Phoebe doll.
There was a Stay Puffed and some other things from some of the other properties that she did, and they were all autographed
Oh
for
my
the
God,
kids.
that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. So she's incredible. And then it's funny. One of our team leaders, Jen, who's in the Phoebe, cosplay there right next to her. It was funny because we were just standing there waiting for her to show up, to do her signings and things. And the minute she saw her, she's like, "Oh my God, that's me!" and runs over to her and gives her like a huge hug. So definitely, if she's in your area or you have the opportunity to meet her, I would definitely 100% advise it. She is, I mean, I've been around a long time. I met a lot of celebrities, and she's among the nicest I have ever met. So
I wouldn't doubt that for a second. I've spoken to a lot of teams that have kind of had her in their cities for different events, and they all say the same thing. She's wonderful. She's sweet. She's so kind to everybody. She gives everybody like sort of quality one-on-one time. It's not just like sign, thank you, sign, thank you. A lot of folks at conventions are kind of like that, but she really gives everybody like quality one-on-one time, and you love seeing that because now she's part of a franchise of other stars that are sort of the same. Ernie Hudson at conventions, are you kidding me? That guy is also one of the best, and he gives everybody so much one-on-one time and loves conversating with folks. He doesn't rush anybody out of there. I've heard similar things about Dan, and I can't say I've seen Bill Murray at conventions, but I've seen him in real life, and he was as cool as person I've ever met. So Yeah, she's a part of a great group of other fantastic, celebrities and stars that just love meeting with their fans. Okay, so who is the kid dressed up as Ghost Venkman here on the left?
Okay, so that's Antonio, and he's been working on that, being a spectral Ghostbuster for God a good 6 months to a year, and he's gotten it down pat at this point. I mean, he looks
He
awesome.
looks amazing, and he's even got the sort of I guess the whiteout contact lenses he's got on there. More power to him. Even his suit with all the little slime details looks great as well. Give him kudos from us. Yeah, he looks incredible.
I will. I'll let him know. He is 100%. He actually, there's another con that happened afterwards called Bartow, out in Bartow, which is kind of out in the middle of Florida. A nice outdoor thing. It usually ends up being a thing. He got second place there.
Second place. Who got first?
Uh, it's one of those things. So hopefully, I think we're talking with him. He's been talking about beefing it up a little bit, getting a little bit of smoke. So he gets that whole nice wispy effect, behind his head like they do in the cartoons. So I think if he brings it up even more, he'll be getting first all over the place. So
it's not the only photos you got. Somebody went as Library Ghost, and I love that she put this sort of, what is this, like chiffon over her, or
yeah,
like
she's draped in it. It's kind of a light, like it's a chiffon. I don't know if it's a chiffon or it's see-through though.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then
definitely.
she definitely gets that great aura with her though. And basically, she's another one of our members as well. They actually just joined just previous to MegaCon, and then they come out and hit it out of the park with coming as Library Ghost. So
This is so brilliant, and it's also something that I've seen before, right? Because you see cosplayers as Force Ghost from Star Wars doing something similar with like a blue tinted material, and I don't know why I've never thought of someone to do a ghost from a Ghostbusters film with that same method. So yeah, this looks incredible. I love it.
oh yeah, no, we do, and it was funny. I was kind of floored when I saw it because that's the first time I saw it was at MegaCon, and they just come up and I was talking to her boyfriend, and suddenly she walks up and I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. So
NYC President Ryan Espen thinks it looks dope. Yes, it does. You guys have a bunch of great photos from this event. So here's McKenna. Talk us through this. She's checking out Phoebe cosplayer. Is she loving the proton pack, or what is happening here?
so here's another story. So she's checking out Phoebe's pack,
Right.
and she noticed that the wiring was perfect on the back, and said that Jason would give that wiring an A+.
Nice.
Yeah.
She's
So
she's an official ghost head now. If she's really caring about wiring and details like that, you know that she's crossed over. She's one of us now. One of us. One of us. One of us.
definitely.
And then let's see here.
Yeah, we had met
Oh my
Finn
God.
as well too, but unfortunately I couldn't find any of the photos with that. So because he was there as well.
That's
And he
right.
was
The Wolfhard was in the house.
yeah. And he was nice as well too. I mean, he was great. We talked to him for a few minutes, kind of exchanged notes a little bit, little different character than McKenna, obviously, but because he had the huge line for all the Stranger Things stuff. But yeah, so
Who's this photographer? Because this green sort of glow in this left photo is immaculate. It looks amazing.
yeah, we were lucky enough that there's in one of the other groups there's a Agent of Shield group actually, and one of the gentlemen there is a professional photographer. So he took his photo and then upgraded it. Basically, he edited it. So
Well, he did a killer job. What did McKenna say about it? Were you there when that happened?
oh yeah, I was there. Oh, she loved it. I mean, it's the same thing because it was different. You know what I mean? That's as well. I mean, she really appreciated that. So
And I know she's a lot younger, so she probably wasn't around when the show was out. So did she recognize it right away, or did she ask a little about it?
she recognized it actually because I think she was been watching the animated stuff.
Oh,
So it's very possible, there because I don't know. I was watching one of the talk shows yesterday. Carrie Coon was on, and she was saying that McKenna was actually a ghost head even prior to doing Ghostbusters. I guess evidently she was wearing flight suits for Halloween before that point. So
all right. What's the story behind the DeLorean meeting the Ecto?
okay, so every year at around just after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, we have a last of the petty cash get together. So everybody brings a dish, and we're fortunate enough that we have a lot of our members, including ourselves, we're builders. We build all kinds of stuff. Everything like, I build packs and I'm working on a lot of the new things right now. We're also lucky that the Ecto 1B folks, they build Ectos. So, that's the Ecto 1B on the one side, and then we have another set of members, the Wells. And while it's on the outside, it's not modified. On the inside, it's pretty much perfect for Back to the Future.
Oh my God.
So
Bryce says it's an 80s classic car standoff.
it very much
Absolutely.
is.
All we're missing is what? Kit, 18 is 70s, I think.
Yeah, it's late 70s, early 80s, I think it was. So.
We need Keaton's Batmobile from 89.
Yeah, I don't know if I know we can't go that far. We're lucky enough to have two awesome cars in our group. So
Yeah, no, you guys, y'all are living the dream as far as I'm concerned. I love that you have the LED sign in the front there with the Stay Puffs on top. You guys take this car out to every event, I assume, right?
we try to. It's not. It's in Florida for some reason. It's not as easy as you think. So, Decto is rain averse, which in Florida obviously we get a lot of rain. So everything's weather dependent with it. So
Sure. How how tough is it to drive? Because there's one replica of a Miller Meteor, but I think it's a 60 in San Antonio where I am at, but it's a gas guzzler, and it's expensive to try and drive it everywhere. So it's usually towed most places, so it's not as fantastic when that happens. But to see it in person is amazing. But you never see it kind of driving around because of just how old the engine is and how much it costs to drive it everywhere.
well, actually, it's funny because the owners of the 1B drive it all over the place.
Yeah.
So yeah, because he has no problem driving it. He, I don't know if you know, we have a local event called Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, and he'll drive it to Universal for Horror Nights, and park it basically, downstairs with the Universal cars, so it's protected. But
Gotcha.
but yeah, so you can see it here on I-4 like all the time, or if you're up in Altamont,
Yeah.
because that's where they're local, and you could see it out and about. Like if you go to a local taco place, for example, things like that. So.
Trying to reset my camera here because I noticed my face had completely frozen. And of course, it's not going to work right away. Let's see here. All right, so I know you only have a few minutes left, George, but let everybody, if you're just joining us, we are joined by George Buras from the Orlando Ghostbusters team. They attended MegaCon a few weeks ago with Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace. Of course, the stars of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which opens next week. Um, the Orlando team's going to be all over next week doing multiple events. If you're in the Florida area, the Orlando area, you want to see them. If you want to be in the best place possible, you need to be with the Orlando team if you can get there. All the information, the locations, dates, times of their appearances are on their Facebook page at Orlando Ghostbusters on Facebook. George, tell us about anything else you guys are cooking up. What about any sort of charity events or anything like that happening pretty soon?
We're working on some things right now. Obviously, with the spring, we're taking a look and seeing what we can line up coming up. So I would just take a look at our page because obviously, we love our charities, and we really want to go out there and do a few events coming up soon with them. So we're working on things.
Awesome. Is this at Universal or is this somewhere? No, this is more like downtown somewhere.
No, that's actually at the library in New York because we went to Ghostbusters Day last year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I didn't recognize it without the lions on the side.
Yeah. So yeah, because we helped with the wedding that happened there. So
Amazing. Oh, this is definitely New York then too, right?
yeah, that's definitely New York. Yeah, because we the two RTVs actually were the ring bearers. So
Was it y'all's group that got married? Was it two people from your group or somebody else?
those were the Brooksville people actually. So they
Oh,
got married,
gotcha.
but they know us, and so they reached out to a few of us to get some help. So it went a lot. It went very smoothly, which was great. I mean, and Buffalo helped out immensely to get everything done as well too. So we're happy that everybody worked together, and they had a great wedding. So
Absolutely. I saw the photos. It looked wonderful, and I don't know if I could have convinced my wife to get married in a flight suit when I first married her, but if we ever renew our vows in the future, it's probably going to be one of the ideas that I bring up to her first. Hey, honey, let's wear some flight suits, and we'll have somebody dressed up as, I don't know, Walter Peck or Vigo. We'll have Vigo kind of help us with the ceremony. I think that'll be great.
yeah, I think that would be he's serious enough to do those things. So.
Definitely, we'll get him like a mic so his voice is like really booming and stuff. And yeah, no, I think that'll be something to look forward to. Okay, definitely gonna show this last photo that you sent me here. She is gorgeous. She looks authentic. Everything down to the antenna. She looks amazing.
And the other amazing part is actually the interior is authentic as well.
Really, like authentic as in all the gadgets and the gizmos and the technology stuff.
They basically went through all the interior photos they could find and either acquired the pieces or replicated them. So
You guys are so lucky. You guys have no idea how lucky you guys are.
no, we know how lucky we are. I mean, it's amazing to have an ecto of that quality with us, and people love it, and that's why the stanchions are there because people love it. No.
Bright says he's drooling right now. I actually rode in. So I mentioned there's one where I'm located, and I actually rode in it about 100 yards. They just needed to get it from one end of location to another. And short, I'll make it quick. The driver had lost the keys. We were at an event with Bill Murray. The driver had lost the keys. He was searching for them for over an hour. And I just happened to walk up, see some keys on the ground. I'm like, I think these are them. And he's like, oh my God, you saved my life. And my reward was riding shotgun in the Ecto for like 100 yards. And I'm like, best thing ever. It is so freaking loud, though. I don't know if y'all's is like that. It's so loud. That engine is just like a big, huge block banger. It's just, I can't imagine driving it
I'm
everywhere.
trying to remember if he replaced the engine. I'm trying to, off the top of my head, I think he has a smaller engine in it, but on purpose though, because obviously it's hard to maintain the original. So, but I think he's, we're looking at Afterlife and Frozen Empire too. So you never know what you might see coming, down the line a year or two from now. So
yeah, no, I completely agree. It looks like MegaCon was an absolute blast. Congrats to you and the team because I know you guys probably went all out, and I'm sure McKenna just had a blast hanging out with you guys. Congrats, man! I can't wait to see what the photos from next week when you guys are celebrating Frozen Empire. I know everybody's got something going on, so it's just what a time, man, to be a Ghostbusters fan. It didn't feel like this when Afterlife dropped. It feels so different now. I think
yeah, I
we
mean,
appreciate it more.
Yeah, I think COVID kind of, because it came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
basically. And now we've had time, we've known this has been coming up, and the excitement keeps building. So,
And we also waited for it. Afterlife was delayed 3, 4 times. And so it kind of, we didn't, the hype almost exhausted itself. And it came out and we loved it and we still love it. But we missed that window of like massive hype. But it still exceeded my expectations. And I'm sure it did for a lot of folks. Terry from the South Dakota team wants to know if you were down to do some patch trading, George.
message us, because I'll show you real quick. So we have 2 patches.
Yeah.
So we have our one that's the purple one that's normal. We want to do something different. And then we have this one, which is our alternate.
Ooh.
So with the gray, and our mascot is Gus, who is pretty famous for his actual employment. So at the Haunted Mansion, and we use Gus. Gus is our mascot. We got something different. Lots of Mooglies out there. So
Absolutely. Well, George, I know that this was a long time coming. I've been wanting to get you guys on to talk about MegaCon for a while. I appreciate you cooperating with me, and just for everybody who's on the chat, we were trying to message each other for like the last couple of like an hour and a half, and Meta Facebook was just like not sending our messages. We would get them few and far between. It was odd. It's never really happened like that. So I don't know what they're doing, but it's not funny because it delayed our show. So,
yeah.
George, I appreciate you, man. I know you got to go. Is there anything else you wanted to tell the folks out there about the team, or any final words before you yourself go see Frozen Empire?
Oh, I'm like, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. It was great that we finally were able to figure it out and get it all done. If you want to become an Orlando Ghostbuster too, contact us if you're in the area there. Obviously, we want to meet you first and see how everything goes. But we're very laid back, so we're very Florida in that regard. So we're looking forward to this year. We're looking forward to Frozen Empire in 8 days, and I got to take a look now and see where our IMAX showings are, because I think I saw 1 or 2, but there's like, I kid you not, like 6 or 7 IMAXs here, and I think only like 2 or 3 of them have it. So
it's so odd. I appreciate you, George.
You know what? Let me leave you with this one. I think hopefully Ernie will. Welcome to the Ghostbusters. There we go.
Yeah, I love it. Have a good night, George. Thanks again for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Peace. All right, folks. Real quick, there's a lot I gotta mention. Before I do, real quick shout out to our sponsor, the best retro store in San Antonio, Texas, the one, the only, Real Retro. Awesome. Real Retro, absolutely best place for finding retro items. I found my bobblehead terror dog. Wait, I can't do this. All right, here we go. Right there at the Real Retro store. They carry everything, memorabilia, vinyls, merchandise, apparel, accessories, 70s, 80s, and 90s. If you're in the San Antonio area, go check it out. It's at the Eisenhower Flea Market. And they're also one of the folks that helped during our toy drive this past winter. So shout out to them. They are incredible. All right. First thing I got to do is I teased this last week. When was I doing this stream? It's been a long week. Some of y'all know why, but last stream I teased that we were going to have a San Antonio advanced screening for folks to potentially win some tickets to. There's a lot of advanced screenings, sort of like for movies throughout the year. Our media group, we actually work with the studios to kind of give out passes a lot of the time. This is a first for us. never before have we had our own advanced screening. It's always been a studio organized deal that we help sponsor or promote. This one is 100% Ghostheads Radio, Countdown City Geeks, which is our official network group, as well as the San Antonio Ghostbusters. So, if you are in the San Antonio or the South Texas area, if you want to join us at the Ghostbusters advanced screening here, and you're going to be joined by all of the San Antonio team, my media group, along with like our families or friends. If you want to win some reserve tickets, all you got to do is click the link in the chat or go to www.countdowncitygeeks.com. Find the article, fill out the form, and we are going to pick several winners to win some reserved seats. This is going to take place on Wednesday, March 20th at 7 o'clock. Do try to arrive by 6:30 to obtain your seats. We're going to notify everybody via email. And yes, this is for San Antonio residents or folks who can make it to San Antonio by that time. If you do not, or if you cannot attend, please don't fill out a form. What are you doing? Why would you do that? Let's see. So that's our giveaway, and I also promised that keep an eye out for another giveaway. I know there's a lot of folks across the country that do not have a Cinemark in their area, and you don't like the other Slimer popcorn buckets. So, um, this week we're going to put out a contest to win a Cinemark Slimer bucket, still in the packaging. We're going to pick one lucky winner to get this. We will notify them next week, early next week. Awesome. I feel like there's some other stuff. Oh, yes, there's a lot of other stuff. I need to take a breath. Do keep an eye out on our social media pages. I was lucky enough, our media team was lucky enough to attend South by Southwest, which, if you don't know, is probably the largest film festival convention of its kind. It started originally as music, but then they included film and television projects. They also went out of the way to like include speakers from like different tech companies. It's also an educational conference. It's also deals with like social issues, and there's just a whole slew of things that goes on at this conference. So we were lucky enough to actually attend as press. I have about half of my interviews out on our social media right now. So if you want to see my interview with folks like Nicolas Cage, Rachel Ziegler, I have one coming up with Cheech and Chong that's going to be coming out later on this week. Do subscribe to us on social media. That way you can catch those interviews. And we have a lot of other stuff that we've already put out that's Ghostbusters related, and some other things that are in the works. So last week we were joined. Yes, this was last week. I remember now. It's all coming together. We didn't have a live stream last week. What we did was we had a recorded interview with David Boer and Blue Delaquanti. These two are part of the creative team that came out with Ghostbusters Back in Town. That interview can be found on our Facebook page as well as YouTube. It's about 45 minutes or an hour long, I think. They're the coolest folks. David grew up a huge fan of Ghostbusters, so this was like a dream project for him. And no spoilers. There are no spoilers at all when it comes to the comic, but we wanted to ask them, what was the process like? What was the collaboration like between you guys and Ghost Core? Tell us how it is working with Gil and Jason. Um, and just to kind of recap on everything that we talked about last week with them, it is everything you as a Ghostbuster fan wants to hear. It is the amount of time, the amount of effort, the amount of attention to detail that they're giving to these comics. Um, and it just sounds like it's the recipe for just a great product for all fans. It's a limited run, right? So I think there's only going to be 4 issues. The first of which will drop the week after Ghostbusters Frozen Empire releases. And the other thing that I asked that I thought was very important to talk about was that you will see stuff in the comics that are being referenced or that kind of cross over into the movies. And I know you're thinking like, well, it's a prequel comic. It's supposed to do that. Yeah, but even so, like you'll see a prequel comic, and kind of most of the time, what they do is they will just have it like a self-contained story that really has no um repercussions for like the film or anything that comes after it. But they did say like this is going to have things that kind of run over into the movie. Now, because the movie's coming out before the comic, it's vice versa, right? So you're going to see things in the movie that the comic will also speak to. But keep in mind that originally the comic was supposed to come out a few days before the movie, so you cannot fault them for that. You shouldn't fault them for that. In other news, Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, they are teasing the Frozen Empire DLC. If it's already happened, by all means, let me know. But they did show earlier that um, they were doing like a little bit of a frost or a little bit of like a freeze over the firehouse. So I'm looking forward to that. That could be something pretty cool, pretty awesome if it's done well, and I think it is. I think they've figured out the recipe. The recipe is you go, you get villains from the animated series, you tie in to the movies, the projects that come out. You give fans something to love and appreciate and to like continue on with, and I think it's fantastic. I cannot wait. In other news, these are pictures from the South Carolina team at Hook and Ladder 8 in good old NYC. It's been decorated to be frozen completely from like head to toe. The sign has been frosted over. There's huge icicles around the building, especially on the bottom. Look at that. It looks incredible. So they're going all out, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Again, shout out to all of our friends that are out there at the NYC premiere that's taking place tomorrow. Um, it's going to be incredible. Bryce is in the chat saying, I got my hands on one of those thanks to one of our team members. I'm going to remove the Cinemark logo and put on a South Dakota Ghostbuster sticker and use it as my Halloween candy bucket. Terry says, might there be an updated Tobin's spirit guide? That needs to be a thing. It really does. And Bryce says that would be awesome. Terry says, don't forget the Keep Alive half-year supply drive. Is that the school drive you're talking about? Or is that something you guys are remind me what that is? If that's the school drive, yes, absolutely. But maybe you're referring to something else. What else here? I have a couple of items for the San Antonio area. So if you would just bear with me for just a second. I'm going to share something here. All right. For those who do not remember, or if you've not seen it, San Antonio is lucky to have, um, at the time, the only Ghostbusters speakeasy that we know of in the U.S. Now the Wonderverse up in Chicago has a Ghostbusters bar. I don't recall if it's exactly a speakeasy, meaning like it's a whole separate, like private room or private area. So we have the Ghostbusters speakeasy here in San Antonio, it looks incredible, and also we've been lucky enough to hold multiple events there. And we've also, like, every Ghostbusters Day we do an event there, and we also have had live streams there as from Ghostheads Radio. Myself have been there. Maddie B has been there for those, and I always remember, like, I always picture in my head one of the times that we were there doing the live stream. Maddie B had a mic. He's right next to the DJ, and he's just like hyping up the crowd because that's what Maddie does. Maddie, he is the hype man. Yes, sir. Okay, do I got it now? Just taking a second here. Boom, I got it. All right. If you're in the San Antonio area, the Kung Fu Saloon is the joint that has the Ghostbusters Speakeasy, and we are having two, not one, but two events the week after the Ghostbusters release. Um, Friday, March 29th is going to be the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire release party. There will be Ghostbusters themed cocktails. There will be a ectomobile there, as well as a live broadcast from us, Ghost Heads Radio, from the bar at the Kung Fu Saloon. Also, the previous Wednesday, on the 27th, the venue is also going to have a Ghostbusters trivia night. So we will share that information when it's final. But yeah, it's going to be great. So if you're in the San Antonio area, you get three things to look forward to. Number one, if you want to try and be a part of our official Ghostbusters advanced screening, go to countdowncitygeeks.com, do that there. Enter in the form, so you have a chance to win a pair of reserve tickets to our screening. If you would like to come join us on the 27th for Ghostbusters Trivia Night at Kung Fu Saloon, this is in the La Cantera area, just off I-10. Actually, the Rim. It's actually the Rim area, which is across from La Cantera, at the corner of 1604 and I-10. And then Friday, the 29th, is the official massive Ghostbusters Frozen Empire release party. We're going to be there doing a live stream. Our Ghostbusters from San Antonio team will be there. I'm going to try and get the other Texas team out. Texas is a big place, so we only drive to like each other's towns when it's like absolutely necessary. So I completely understand, but it's no matter what, you're not hitting a Ghostbuster team unless you drive an hour or two in any direction. So we will try to get multiple Ghostbusters teams down in San Antonio for this event to make sure it's a massive one. And then for the official Ghostbusters Frozen Empire release, we will be at the Alamo Draft House Park North Theater Thursday through Sunday. The times vary. So if you want to take some photos with us, if you want to contribute to our charity organizations that we support, if you would like some free swag, some free posters, by all means, come see us. If you want to find out when or what I'm talking about when I say Alamo Draft House Park North, please go to Ghostbusters SATX. That's Ghostbusters San Antonio, Texas on Facebook. We're going to put all the information there. We're just making sure we get the times right for everybody, making sure that we have team members there. And yeah, we're going to do that. Shout out to my team. And I don't say it enough, but they are amazing. Why are they amazing? I've been helping out with events. I've been talking to schools so we can do school visits. I've been talking to, people who just want to see us and stuff like that. So I have been scheduling a lot of things. We had two school visits last week, and we had a public library appearance last Saturday. And I was lucky enough to make the first school visit, which was a lot of fun. And then I had to go on my assignment to South by Southwest in Austin, so I was not able to attend the second one. But shout out to Matt and Rob who did attend the event. This was at Sun Valley Elementary. They were having their own mini Comic Con, and I love it when schools do this because let's face it, you're training kids to get even more involved with comic cons. They're learning at a young age that comic cons are cool, that conventions are awesome. And so this place, Sun Valley, they had a little comic con. Our team members were there walking around taking photos, and honestly those are our favorite events, like 100%. The kids love us, and we give out posters. We joke around with the teachers. We play the games with the kids. We do arts and crafts. There was a karaoke machine, and I really wanted to like take over, but instead I did not. However, Bruno, son of our president Rob, Bruno did an amazing job, an amazing rendition. I think it was Queen, um, I forget what song it was, but he did an incredible job. One more photo. Our San Antonio team was at the San Antonio Library last week. They look awesome, and our team is growing. We had like three new individuals like come out for this event, and you love to see it. We have a decent sized team. We're like 10 or 12 strong, but in the last 3-4 months we've been having people just reach out to us and say, hey, we want to join, we didn't know about you guys, or hey, we saw you on TV, or we saw you guys in a parade, what are you guys doing, what are you all about? And so yeah, just like George did earlier, for anybody in the Orlando area, if you're in the San Antonio area, South Texas area, come on, come in, join us. We're just as laid back, if not more, than the Orlando team. Honestly, we just want to get along with everybody and we want to do the job. And the job is just help out your community. That's all it is. Do it with a smile on your face. Don't complain. Just get out there, get some boots on the ground, and spread the joy. Raise the money when we need to, collect the toys when we want to. I we've accepted everybody who's ever wanted to join us, and I think 10 times out of 10 we just haven't missed. Everybody who's joined has been pretty fantastic, so hoping that we keep batting 1,000. Let's see. Let me catch up on the chat here. Terry says yes for your schools, absolutely. Bryce says I really want to come to that speakeasy. Yeah, man, when you were here. Oh, it wasn't Bryce. It was my gosh, it's been a long week. Yeah, the speakeasy is awesome. And I have some bad news. So the speakeasy will be leaving our city sometime this summer. I know. Everybody shed a tear. It's not It's not the best thing, but we need to share the wealth. So some lucky town who most likely already has a kung fu saloon in their area will be getting the Ghostbusters speakeasy, or maybe just the Ghostbusters bar. I don't know if it's going to be a speakeasy. Um, probably sometime this year. I assume it takes a while to kind of renovate the area or the space. But yeah, we're going to be losing the Ghostbusters speakeasy, and it will be replaced with something different. So think of your favorite franchises. Maybe it's Rocky, maybe it's Back to the Future, Star Wars. Whatever it is, I will accept it with open arms. But yeah, our time with the speakeasy is coming to an end, and that's okay. Like I mentioned, some lucky town some lucky Ghostbuster group is going to be getting, hopefully, the next speakeasy from Kung Fu Saloon. Terry says, haven't seen Matty B in a while. Say hi. Yeah, I also haven't. I do talk to him a few times a week. He is just as busy, if not more busy, than I am, and I've been in Austin for 5 days. So it's I I can't wait to hear him talk about the movie once he sees it. Hopefully, he gets to see it right away. Xavier, what's going on, man? My school was talking about doing a Comic Con for the students. Tell them it's a good idea, man. Tell them it's a great idea. No, do this, Xavier. And I'm not joking. Tell the school, number one, do it. Number two, that we would love to help out. Just so long as it falls on a day that we're not already like, committed to something else. But if it's on a day right now that, we're able to help, we know Ghostbusters, obviously. We know Star Wars cosplayers. We know Power Ranger cosplayers. We know Star Trek cosplayers. We're friends with all these folks in our town. And so, yeah, we would love to help do something along those lines. It actually should happen more that the cosplayers group in our community maybe like work together more often than not. We're already going to all the same places. We should be helping each other out and like, hey, they need more folks at this school. Hey, they need more folks at this hospital over here. So yeah, tell them they should do it, and then let us know because we would love to help out in any way we can. Whew. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Can I get serious for a moment? Let me get serious for a moment. I started off the show saying that I was slightly concerned about the release of Frozen Empire, and I don't think it's anything on Sony's end. Definitely not Ghost Core's end. If it was up to Ghost Core, the movie would be on every single screen in the city, in every city, right? Um, I'm in one of the largest cities in the U.S., and in my town, it's not on as many screens as I want it to be. And it's not on any IMAX screens in my town. That's not saying it's not the same for you guys in your town, but there are two IMAX screens in my town, and neither one of them is going to have Frozen Empire. And for the rest of the theaters, some theaters have it on multiple screens, some theaters only have it on one screen. And that is a concern to me because this should be a blockbuster. It should be treated as a blockbuster. And what I don't want to happen is for the media, not myself, but the mainstream folks, the scoopers and the blog sites to say Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, under, throw out a number, under 20 million, opening box office weekend. Sony's definitely not gonna greenlight another sequel or something crazy, right? They will spin it any way they want to, and I don't want it to be because this movie's not getting as wide of a release as it should. It is a blockbuster, it should be treated as a blockbuster. And so, what am I getting at with all this? It's up to us. It's up to you guys. It's up to me to help this movie get to where it needs to be. Sony's already panicking because Madam Web was not the big hit they thought it would be. I don't know what they thought it was going to be, but it definitely didn't turn out the way they expected. So Sony's already hurting a little bit in that regard. Had Madam Web made a bunch of money, they would be a little bit more at ease, a little bit more laid back with this release. But I promise you, and I've actually heard this from sources around the company, they do not want this to bomb. If it's considered a bomb, and I know we shouldn't care about that. We care about the story. We care that our characters are back. We care that the franchise is continuing, right? That's what you and I care about. However, the business people, they care about whether or not this is going to make any profit. And if we want more projects, it needs to make profit. Like the comic books. If we want more comic books, we have to sell this one out. It's up to us. It is up to you. You will determine whether or not this franchise will thrive going forward. I heard it from credible sources that I am, I'll just say, acquainted with, I'm friends with, people that have been around the studio, saying that they are maybe in a little bit of a panic. And again, that's not Ghost Core. Ghost Core is a subsidiary division of Sony, but Sony writes the checks. And we need Sony to make more movies. So, what should we do? Because it is up to us. Promote the movie, make appearances at theaters, push those appearances on your social media, get people out there, get them to the theater, make videos about what you thought about the movie, spread the awareness, spread the good news, spread the good reviews. Can I tell you something? The world premiere is tomorrow in New York City, right? I actually know people who have seen it already because loopholes, and they've already told me it's amazing. They've already told me it's amazing. Loopholes is a very vague term. Let's just say that I don't know exactly how they allowed, or Sony was allowed to let them see it early, but they're in the industry, so they saw it early. Um, so we have to push the positive narrative because that's what it's going to be. I don't want to oversell this, but I can't imagine that I'm not going to be in love with this movie. It just, everything I've seen looks incredible. Everything I've heard looks incredible. The people that I've interviewed who have either seen it or seen parts of it or have read about it or know people who've seen it, like I've talked to a bunch of folks around the movie, and they've all said the same thing. It's amazing. So it's up to us, guys. It really is. Let's see here. Movie releases different days for different countries. Let's be respectful of spoilers. 100%. Do not spoil anything. If there's anything left to spoil, right? Because the commercials have been showing a lot of stuff. I haven't even watched the clips because I'm like, that's enough. That's enough, Sony. Okay. Again, this is not like a knock on them, but I think they're showing so many clips because they're sort of in panic mode. I wonder if Dune is to blame for IMAX. I think it is. I think it absolutely is. IMAX gets to negotiate with the studios by themselves. And again, I think this has already been confirmed that Ghostbusters Frozen Empire wasn't filmed in IMAX, so maybe it's not like a true IMAX format, but still you want to see it on the best picture, on the biggest screen with the best sound. And for me, in my area, I have 1.5 million people in this town probably. Our IMAX screen is the best, and it's not going to be there. Nerd Affiliate says because most of the money is coming from IMAX viewings. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. The studios negotiate with IMAX, a company directly, and then the theaters will also, I think, have some way to dictate how that works, or it might just be IMAX by themselves. But either way, I don't have any. And then there's a movie, Godzilla versus Kong, I think comes out in like 2 weeks. So when that movie drops, there's no shot of Ghostbusters getting on the large IMAX format. So it's not on the movie. It's just the industry and the way business works. But It is unfortunate because IMAX is big money. IMAX is big money. It's the biggest theaters. It's the more expensive than anything else, and so it's more money for the studio. The movie will profit, but the question is, will it be a huge hit? You're absolutely right. It's gonna be good. The story's gonna be good. It's gonna get great reviews. That's what it was. I heard that ticket sales weren't exactly what Sony wanted, but this was also like a week ago when this person told me this. So hopefully things have picked up. But man, I'm going through my theater list in my town right now. The biggest theater that's closest to me has over 20 auditoriums. It's on one screen on the 21st. It's on one screen in the biggest theater closest to me on Friday the 22nd. One screen. One screen at the second closest theater to me, one screen on the third closest theater to me, one screen on the fourth closest theater to me. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And these are the biggest theaters in town. For me, again, for me. The largest theater in my city is called the Palladium, and it's on one screen on Friday the 22nd. That blows my mind. And nobody who's going to write the articles about whether or not it's a success is going to count the number of screens it opens on, right? They're not going to say like, "Oh, it's 400 screens less than Dune was." They're not going to say that. What they're going to say is, "Oh, it didn't compare to, the last blockbuster, or it didn't compare to the last 2 or 3 blockbusters." So they're going to say it underachieved. It's easier to kind of run with the most sensational headline than it's not. So if you're watching this, you guys have to go above and beyond. It is not enough for you to see it. It's not going to be enough for you to see it 3 times. You yourself, you are going to help determine the fate of this franchise. You, me, your friends, your families, your whole Ghostbuster crew, you have to spread the word. You have to get butts in the seats. Get your boots on the ground to get butts in the seats. Make appearances, give out posters. Um, if you whatever you can do it. Park your Ecto, whatever you drive, in front of the movie theater. Ask the GM, ask the manager, like, hey, we just want to park our car in front of your theater so people can see it as they drive by, so people can take photos with it when they walk in. When they're going to the box office to figure out what they want to see, we want them to see this vehicle. Last one opened at 42 million. I think I broke down the numbers this week on my show of Nerd Affiliated. Awesome, man. That's great. Everyone check it out if you get a chance. Yeah, the ticket pre-sales aren't killing it right now. Yeah, no, I heard the same thing. I heard the same thing for like a week ago, and I hope things have changed, but I'm not completely sure about it right now. April Gomez asked, "Do you have any for the Dallas, Texas area? Are you talking about teams or are you talking about screenings? Let me know which one you're talking about." Mm, 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 mm. Cool. And I don't mean to be a downer, okay? I really don't. This should be a time to celebrate, but I'm not in it. I'm not in this for like the short term. I'm in this for the long term. I've been waiting over 30 years? Yeah. I'm not gonna say 40. It's been 30, yeah, 35 years since Ghostbusters 2. We've been waiting 35 years almost, right? Since Ghostbusters 2 to have a true sequel to the franchise. I loved Afterlife. I loved it. You loved it. It was the best movie for the right moment. But we wanted this one to happen. We wanted the firehouse to be in it. We wanted to be in New York City. We wanted the OG team to have a bigger part of the film. We wanted Ernie Hudson to be right where he belongs in the movie from like start to finish, not just making cameos like he did in the first or the second one. This is what we wanted, and we cannot be satisfied with just this movie. We have to get out there. How many teams are there out? How many teams are there in the U.S.? Like 100 and like something like that. Every single team out there needs to see this. Every single team out there needs to understand that just because you have your ticket doesn't mean we're doing the most we can for this franchise. And I don't know about you, but one more movie is not going to be enough for me. Like if Frozen Empire is the last one, that's not going to be enough for me. I want to see Ghostbusters outlive me. That's a weird thing to say. But I want my daughter, who's 4, she wants to see this movie. I pray to God that it doesn't give her nightmares. But yeah, I want her to grow up watching Ghostbusters movies. I want her to wear flight suits in my group and Ghostbusters movies. Yep, you. And yeah, what was I saying? I want her to wear flight suits, be on a team, and there's still more movies coming out. You're gonna be on my team. Okay, I'm gonna be on her team. She says she's gonna have her own team. April Gomez says screenings in Dallas. I've not heard of one yet. I have some friends in Dallas. I will ask them if they're giving away any seats. Okay, I'll do that while I'm still online here. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Do. Yeah. Um. One second. Yeah. I'm really sorry for the tone of this to kind of be a bit negative or sorrow, but it's kind of just what it is and what I've been hearing. Like we're gonna celebrate it, and that's great. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna all be happy about it. Um, but I don't want it to end anytime soon. And pre-sale tickets are not as looking great. Um, so we have to take control. Well, I guess we're gonna have to take control. Yeah, it's up to us, guys. It really is. Um, do what you can. Get out there, get your boots on the ground, get butts in the seats, get creative. Have giveaways, park your vehicles outside theaters, do anything you can. Yeah. Yes, I'll be right there. Absolutely. Let's see. April, I haven't gotten a response yet, but if you want to, please reach out to the Ghostbusters Texas Rangers division. They're on Facebook, and ask them if they're giving away any seats to their showing. I think they have an event showing, and there might be more. Sony actually might put more screenings out there pretty soon, but have not heard of them doing anything like that yet. Giveaways. Again, for the folks who missed it, we are going to have our own advanced screening. This is going to be the day before the official release, and it's at the only theater in my town with D box seats. Let's see here. So if you ever want to see it in D box, this is the only place to do it. If you want to try and win seats to our screening, you must go to countdowntothegeeks.com, fill out the form, and that will enter you into the contest. We're going to notify winners via email if you're going to be joining us. You will be at the best Ghostbuster screening in San Antonio. I promise you that. We will have some giveaways as well. We'll have posters for everybody in attendance. And you're going to be surrounded by Ghostbusters in flight suits wearing proton packs. It's going to be amazing. Let's see. We're going to be giving away a Cinemark Ghostbuster Slimer popcorn bucket. We're going to be giving this away pretty soon. Keep your eyes on not only the Countdown City Geeks Facebook page, but as well as the Ghostheads Radio Facebook group to find out how you can win the Slimer popcorn bucket. Again, we're going to be out at the Kung Fu Saloon in San Antonio, Texas on Wednesday, the 27th for Ghostbusters Trivia Night. And we're also going to be there for the official launch party on Friday, the 29th. This is the only place with the Ghostbusters Speakeasy, or the first place. Let's call it the first place. This is the first place in America with the Ghostbusters Speakeasy, and we absolutely love that joint. It's a ton of fun. That's awesome. I'm jealous you'll have the whole squad there. Yeah, man. I love our family. I love our Ghostbusters family. They are the best. So yeah, we're gonna have a theater full of Ghostbusters and their family and their spouses and their kids, and we'll have a handful of winners join us as well. So it's gonna be awesome. Let's see here. Doot. April says, "What's the Facebook page of Ranger?" He was here earlier. Go if you well, let me see. It's the first comment on here. Ghostbusters Texas Rangers Division. They're up in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and so if there's an advanced screening, those guys are going to be there. Shout out to all of my friends up in New York. Please, guys, be safe up there. Ghost Head Tom, Jamie Hodges, everybody who's up there, the whole NYC team, the Buffalo team. All you guys are awesome. Live it up, enjoy it, but also don't be content. It's up to us to get the word out, to keep this franchise alive. We've waited this long. We've waited this long. We've waited too long to lose it now. And I'm being serious. This isn't like we're kind of just making stuff up on the fly here. These are things that I've heard from people close to the studio, and I don't want anything to happen to our franchise. If you haven't seen it yet, go to our YouTube page. Check out our interview with Blue Delaquanti and David Booher, the creative team behind the Ghostbusters Back in Town comic series. It's a fantastic conversation. They're just so cool. They're so awesome, and it's a great interview. They just talk so highly about the collaborative process, the development process of the stories, and how the comics are going to tie into the movie. So it's all great stuff. Last thing I'll say is I'm tired. I just got back from South by Southwest. I watched maybe a dozen movies. Most of them are world premieres. Got to see movies with stars like Nicolas Cage, Sydney Sweeney, a bunch of folks. Susan Sarandon. I was in a theater with Susan Sarandon. She's in a movie coming out pretty soon called The Gutter. And all I ask of you is that you subscribe to us or you follow our pages. That way you can see all of our reviews, see all of our videos from these premieres. I got a lot of great interviews, and I'm going to be working on those pretty much the rest of this week. It's a lot of work, but I am so grateful for the opportunity. Shout out to South by Southwest for being awesome. Hey, Chucky's in the chat. Let's go, Teddy Bear. That's my bestie, y'all. Yeah, man. You know what? You need to be at our screening as well. We'll talk. We'll talk. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy last stream before Ghostbusters Frozen Empire release. Let's say that. We will probably be doing a remote video or stream from Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, our advanced screening here in San Antonio. I can't promise it's going to be live, but I will promise that this is going to be a video that we do from the theater with a few of the folks that are going to be there and just, talking about it, showing you guys what we're doing. And it's going to be awesome. The Ghostbusters San Antonio team is going to be out and about for the official release at the Draft House Park North Theater. So if you want to find out when you can see us, or if you just want to come and chat or take some photos, bring the kids, for crying out loud. Take your entire family to go see the new Ghostbusters movie. That's what you really need to do. And you can come see us at the Park North Theater starting on Thursday, the 21st, through Sunday. For times and the exact location, all you got to do is head to Ghostbusters SATX on Facebook. Nerd says, was that your first time? That was my first time, and it was also my first time as a member of the press. So a first of many, and so worth it. It was incredible. All right, folks, have a great night. I love you all. Thank you to the Orlando team for joining me earlier. Shout out to George, who's running a hell of a team. They had a blast out there at the MegaCon in Orlando. 2024, it feels like it just started, but we're only in March, and we've we've done so much. We've had a blast. There's a ton more to come. There's a lot in the works, a lot of massive events that our media group is working on, and we want to bring you guys along for the ride. So do keep an eye out. Have a great night, folks. Thank you for watching. I will see all you guys soon.